at this point, look at all of these tropical systems that we're watching right now. Now, the one we want to focus in currently, Paulette. So still a tropical storm at 70 miles per hour, so a very strong tropical storm. Looking a little sheared this morning maybe, but it is still expected to increase in strength as we head through the rest of the weekend and early next week. Bermuda, you're right smack dab in the middle of the cone, so interests in Bermuda need to keep a close eye on this. It is forecast to become a hurricane before it reaches the island. Here's what we're expecting all up and down the East Coast, and I cannot stress the importance of this enough. We're going to continue to see those wave heights and those swells pushing in from Paulette, even though it stays well offshore, and this is going to increase beach erosion, the rip current risk, and it's going to make for some dangerous beach conditions. We're going to talk more about all of this and what another threat that it's bringing along with it, and that is the dangerous air quality that they're dealing with all across the West, really. And you can see why here we have densely packed amounts of fires burning, creating that smoke up and down the West Coast, and you can see stretching there into the Great Basin region. And this is going to continue to be a problem, at least for the foreseeable close future. Now, eventually some rain is going to move in, but we've got at least a couple more days of this extremely dry weather in place, and that is one of the fuelers for these fires. So in Oregon, around 900,000 acres have been consumed, and you can see some of these fires that have been burning. The Archie Creek fire, more than or nearly 100,000 or over 100,000 acres there. So we've really seen these burn quite a bit. Now, the rainfall total forecast coming in the next 7 days, it's not a ton, but it's at least some. And that's the good news, especially across portions of Washington and Oregon, where they really could use some of that rain to cut in on that smoke, to cut in on the lack of any type of moisture to aid in that. So let's take a look at the risk for critical and elevated fire tomorrow. That's across portions of Oregon down through California. We're getting Nevada in on that as well, which as has been the case. Now, here's the thing. As mentioned, it's not just the flames of the fire that are dangerous, but it's also the smoke that's creating these air quality problems. We've got a dense smoke advisory for Reno, and then you'll notice air quality alerts as we look up through Washington and Oregon. So big problems for people, especially vulnerable populations. If you have asthma or the elderly, you really are seeing this become a problem. Now, take a look at the smoke forecast where you're seeing the oranges and the red. That is that more dense smoke. This is impacting a huge chunk of the West Coast and actually stretching across the country at this point once it gets kind of picked up in those steering winds. So we're seeing that continuing through Monday. Let's take a look at the specific air quality for a place like Portland or Salem. You can see where we're starting to get